I don't know. Okay, guys. Story time. For those of you who are new to this channel, we try to start our streams. Since yesterday, we have tried to start our streams with a nice little story time because I like telling stories, and what better time to do it than at the beginning of stream, right? Only if you do it in ASMR. Hell no. So, this story is the story of 3 times in my life where I know that I did not pick up hints from female friends of mine who were trying to hook up with me. Because, one, I'm a dum-dum. Middle school was not kind to me, so my confidence was very low for a long time, so I just assumed that, you know, all the girls that were friendly to me literally just wanted to be friends. And, you know, number 3, I just tend to assume that, you know, women don't want to sleep with me. I've learned that that is a very safe thing to do. So, missed clue number 1. Musa, by the way, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. I hope your Monday's going well. Did you still use Snooze Dominator? I fell back on it. So, missed clue number 1. Ellen, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Mistake number 1. I was 17. And a very good friend of mine, we had been talking for like a long time, and like I was like, you know, she's been really friendly to me the last 3 months, right? And we've been talking, you know, and she was laughing at my jokes even though I'm not funny, and everything like that. So like at this point, the more socially aware of you guys will be like, okay, you know, she's 17, she's laughing at your dumbass 17-year-old jokes, she's into you, right? And on Monday, this starts on a Monday, she was like, we were just talking, you know, and she was like, oh, my parents are going away for the weekend, you know? And I was like, oh, cool, are you gonna do anything? And she was like, nah, you know, all my friends are doing stuff and I don't have anything to do, and you know, and I was like, okay, you know, we can workshop this. We can figure out something to do, like, that you can do for the weekend, you know? Like, you can invite some people over, you know, you can have movie night, like, if you're crazy, you can have a party, something like that. And then, you're right, you're not funny at all, she was a winner, exactly. So, you know, this is basically the conversation for every single lunch break in high school that week, right? On the Friday, she's like, well, my parents left this morning. You know, they left like a bunch of pizzas and snacks and stuff in case I want to have people over at my house. And I was like, oh, that's super nice of them. And she was like, yeah, but like I don't have anything to do, so like I'm just gonna be home. I don't know what to do this weekend. And I was like, wow, you know, you're so smart. You're so smart. I don't know. Let's call her Jaina because I like Warcraft. You're so smart, Jaina. You'll figure something out. You're fun. You'll always have something to do, buddy. Right? And then she was like, so what are you gonna do this weekend? And I was like, nah. I'll just play World of Warcraft, I think. And she was like, oh, okay. I woke up in a cold sweat. 3 months later. 3 months later. And I was like, shit! That was the first time. That was the first time. Fast forward 1 full year, we're back in spring. We are doing the Norwegian graduation party thing. And for those of you guys who don't know, oh yeah, 2 of these stories is the same girl. For those of you who don't know, Norwegian graduation party is basically every single Norwegian high school student who is graduating high school at the age of 18. We just get drunk and party for a month, right? We like buy a bus, we tear all the things out of the bus, we refurbish it, we design it, we make it a rolling party platform, we bring all the buses like up in the woods and shit, and we have like giant ass raves for like a month, right? Now my parents lived close to one of the party congregation places, right? And one night, I didn't go out to party that night because we had a running test at gym tomorrow. That's my excuse. That's my excuse for this story. In this instance, I had a running test. I had a conditioning test in gym class the day after. Remember that. I went to bed early. I was like, I'm going to ace this thing. Not going to drink. I'm not going to do that shit hungover. Same girl. Remember, guys, same girl from the World of Warcraft story. She calls me. She calls me up. It's like 2 o'clock in the middle of the night, right? She's with her best friend. Her best friend, who I've had a crush on since middle school when I had terrible self-confidence, right? She calls me up. And she's like, hey, I'm here with Alex. Let's call her Alex. Our bus left us. And you know, we were just wondering what you're doing. Remember the context, guys. Bunch of drunk 18-year-olds partying for a month. That's the context here. Now, I live 5 minutes away from the party congregation place. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Like, is the evening over for you? And then she dead ass said, yeah, no, like, that's why we're calling you. You know, to check what's up. Her and her best friend. And I say, I've gone to bed. There's a running test tomorrow. And she's like, okay. We still have like drinks and shit left. And I was like, all right, so like the night is not over. The night is not over for you guys, you know? You can go have fun. That's awesome. I'll talk to you tomorrow at school. My alarm clock rings. 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm the dumbest man alive, man. Oh my god. I'm such a dumbass son of a bitch. Now, you would imagine that, what?
Story.
You like the story? Obviously, it worked out at some point for me. I wasn't a dumbass all the time. Though I do have a story about Lady Sept when I completely missed a clue with her as well. But that's not for today. Were you hot in school, or what were these girls? No. I told you, Aetherux, this was the same girl. Now, fast forward. I'm 23 at this point, right? I work at the student pub, and one of my colleagues at the student pub and I, we're closing up for the night, right? It's just us two, and she's like, you know what? We are allowed to just sit down and have some drinks. You know, we have the keys, and as long as we pay for the drinks, you know, it's just gonna show up on the register for tomorrow's shift, and it's all good. And I was like, you know, that's a damn fine idea. Let's get a little bit tipsy. Let's get a little bit tipsy today. We don't have anything to do tomorrow, so we like drink and we chat and we hang out for like 3 hours at the student pub. And it's honestly just an amazing time. We'll listen to music, we do some karaoke, fucking class evening, right? It's not the same girl. This is a different girl. And then at some point we're like, ah shit, it's 3 o'clock in the night, we need to go home. We need to get some sleep, right? We go out, and she's like, hey, you can crash at my place if you want to. And I was like, that's so kind of you. But I live just down the street, and she was like, I live like 5 minutes away, 6 minutes away walking, right? And she was like, no, it's no problem at all. You know, I have room to spare. None of my roommates are home. And I'm like, it's so kind. I don't want to impose. You know, I'm just gonna go home. So yeah, that's the story of how I, as a teenager, missed my shot with a girl that I had a crush on twice in 1 year, and then once when I was older and smarter and more intelligent, just absolutely missed that window again. My point is, there's no point. I was a dumbass. Yes, I was 23 at that time, yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, that's the story of how I'm just an absolute dumbass, and you basically just need to look me straight in the face for me and tell me. Oh. Oh my god, good time. Wasn't that 6 years ago? Yes. 6.5, yeah. And then I went to Belgium, and then I met Lady Sept, and everything fell into place. But yeah, it's okay to be a dumbass, is the point of this story. So in conclusion, Europe scares me. Candy, everybody who came during that story, welcome to the stream. Nordic, I see you made your mustache more curly. Trying to compensate after seeing that one pic? No, it just curled like this today.